The mark of the beast is the settling into the truth about Satan, settling into a false concept of what God is like, and you become like the kind of God that you worship. So the mark of the beast has a lot to do with the character of those who will in the end reject God at the end of time. So what is this mark of the beast? It's interesting that Sunday laws are seen as critical to Revelation 13, yet the word Sunday isn't here. In fact, the word Sabbath isn't in the book of Revelation either. So how can one come to a text like this and draw the kinds of conclusions that Seventh-day Adventists have drawn in the past? Well, it starts with observing what is in contrast to the mark. The mark of the beast is in contrast to the seal of God. Clearly, those concepts are in tension with each other, just as the counterfeit trinity of Revelation 13, dragon, beast, and false prophet, is counter to the true Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So you have the mark of the beast is in some way contrasting with the seal of God. And the seal of God is most clearly expressed in Revelation 7, verses 1 to 3, where the people of God are sealed on their foreheads. And then Revelation 14, verse 1, where they have the name of God on their foreheads. The same contrast, the forehead, the name, the seal, the mark, these are strongly in contrast with each other. So the mark of the beast is somehow in contrast with the seal of God. In the New Testament generally, the seal of God is associated with the Holy Spirit. Ephesians 1:13, Ephesians 4:30, that the Holy Spirit enters a person when they receive Jesus Christ, and the seal is the ever-developing character in harmony with the character of Christ and the character of God. The Holy Spirit is the active agent of God to work out His character in us. And it reminds me of a statement that Ellen White makes, that the seal of God at the end will be settling into the truth. I think that concept is so critical. Let's take a look at that statement. It's found in the book Last Day Events and also is quoted in the Seventh-day Adventist Bible Commentary, where Ellen White said, "The seal of God is not any seal or mark that can be seen." Remember the spiritualizing of the type? It's not a mark that can be seen. It's not going to be a brand. It's not going to be a microchip as such. But notice what she says. It is a settling into the truth, both intellectually and spiritually, so that they cannot be moved. People who are so convinced, so committed, that no matter what happens, they cannot be moved. They cannot be deterred from their mission. Here we see once again, the contrast is the mark of the beast is the settling into the truth about Satan, settling into a false concept of what God is like, and you become like the kind of God that you worship. So the mark of the beast has a lot to do with the character of those who will in the end reject God at the end of time. There are two types of response to the command to worship the image of the beast. One is on the forehead, receiving a mark on the forehead, which in the Hebrew concept, the forehead is the seat of the intellect, the seat of the emotions. It's the animating software that makes a person who they are. It's the identity. There are people who will embrace Satan's ideology as their own. This is truly who I am, who I want to be. I'm in it for me. I'm number one. I want it my way. You see, that is Satan's character. And there are those who will embrace it with a whole heart. There are others who won't, but they don't want to lose buying and selling. They don't want to be killed. So others will go along with the hand. Their bodies will act as if they supported the beast. but in fact, their hearts are not there, simply their actions. So many people in the world will act out of their beliefs, but many will act out of fear, out of a desire to preserve their life, preserve their job, preserve their reputation, whatever. So you have two types of response to Satan's call, and that means that key in all of this ultimately is worship. Satan doesn't care why you worship him as long as you do. It's about him, about his power, about his control, and if he can control you, he doesn't care whether you care. That's what I see here in these two types of mark. The forehead representing character, and the hand representing the action, the name and the number representing those two types of response. You see, in the book of Revelation, there are three types of people, and I will illustrate that with three boxes that you will see on the screen. First of all, you have what Revelation calls the saints, the remnant, the 144,000, the great multitude, the kings of the east, those who watch and keep on their garments and so forth. You have a number of names for the saints in the book of Revelation, and these are those who are becoming so settled into the truth they cannot be moved. These saints are committed to God, and they begin to find each other all around the world. It is that gathering, invisible gathering perhaps, in which God's true people are more and more marked off away from everyone else. In contrast with that is a worldwide confederacy of religion at the end of time. And that confederacy is also known by many names like Babylon, the great city, the great prostitute, the unholy trinity, the woman of Revelation 17. So you have a worldwide religious alliance. And in that worldwide religious alliance, a people are committed to the truth about God as seen through the eyes of Satan, as seen in that direction. Third, the third type of people are secular people, people who are neither committed to the truth, neither sealed by God, nor committed to the mark on the forehead, committed to the whole deal. These are called Euphrates River, kings of the world, many waters, kings of the earth dwellers, beasts, 10 horns, and so forth. So as you work through the final events in the book of Revelation, you can see that these three types of people are all there. Two of them end up receiving the mark, and one of these groups ends up not. They receive the seal of God instead. So the mark of the beast is an identifying mark of those who have rejected the gospel, rejected the truth about God, and follow a different path.